Kino is a young Mexican Indian pearl driver married to Juana. They have a baby named Coyatito. Kino, Juana, and their son live in a modest house by the sea. Kino is a male character and Juana is a female character. The baby boy is named as Coyatito. They have their own comfortable life in a modest house by the sea because he is a Mexican Indian pearl driver. One morning, a scorpion strangers Coyatito because they know that the doctor will not come to such a poor home. Joanna tells Kino to take the child to the doctor. Kino and Joanna rush him to the doctor in town. So I'm going fast since we have already covered these things. So the scorpion is the insect, the biting insect. The picture is there at the bottom of this slide. So they can't afford to get a doctor to their home because they are from the poor background. So then they are going in search of the doctor. The neighbors. The mother is carrying the baby and Kino is also with them. So the neighbors, as a matter of gratitude and courtesy, they are also going. And they are all going to the town in a large procession. They are all in the solidarity of the baby. At the doctor's house, the doctor's servant tells Kino and Joanna that the doctor is not at home. In truth, the doctor is home but will not help them because they are poor natives who can't pay enough, and also because the doctor is prejudiced against Kino's race. Actually, the doctor is inside, but they were informed that doctor was not around because he doesn't like to treat them because of their race and also because of their social and economic status in the society. So this is the place, Mexico, where they have gone for the pearls. He is a marine diver. Baja California, the name of the place. We covered all these things in the last session. We need to move to the remaining. Later the same morning, Kino and Joanna take their family canoe out to the sea to go diving for pearls. So this is their job. So this is the thing on which they get their livelihood. So they started their journey into the sea to look for the pearls. So what are they using? They are using this canoe. Canoe is a small boat. It's a handmade boat. No machines are used in making this boat. So we have introduced two different symbols from the beginning of the novella. One is the scorpion, the second one is canoe. Jonah makes a poultice for Coyote's wound while Kino searches the sea bottom. Poultice means she's making something with the weed of the aqua or the water or the sea. She collected some herbs, some fungi like things, and she made it into a paste, and she just tied this for Coyotito for getting relief from the scorpion bite. Jonas pays for a large pearl are answered when Kino surfaces with the largest pearl either of them has ever seen. This is the turning point of the story. So as a diver, he went inside and the mother is praying for two. One is they must get a great pearl that would be making them rich. And the second thing, as a mother, she is worrying about the health of her one and only son. And her prayers are answered. Kino, the surface that this diver came out, the Mexican diver, pearl diver, came out with the largest pearl that either of them have ever seen it before. Now, the things are moving very fast from now onwards. The mother is carrying the baby in her lap. The baby is sleeping. The baby is down with fever and groaning with pain because he was bitten by the scorpion. And Kino came back from the waters with a large pearl in his hands. Look at the picture. We have seen this picture already. He reaches home with his great pearl. The news of his discovery has already reached his village and the town. The news that Kino and his family got a wonderful pearl, just it reached the people like a wildfire because this news has reached them even before they reached their village or the town. and everyone fantasizes what he or she would do with the wealth that the pearl represents, including the doctor who previously refused to help Coyotito but now says that the baby is a patient of his. So social status has got changed. So now you have become good friends and you are becoming suddenly known and very much well known or popular in the vicinity. So the people who are talking, dreaming what these two people would be getting and what they are going to do with this pearl and how much wealth they are going to gain and what are they going to plan with them. They are fantasizing, they are all dreaming. The doctor once who was very much reluctant to give the treatment to Coyotito, now he is boasting to his people that these people are his patients, Kino, Juana and Coyotito. So he wants to have a good relation with them because they are going to be the rich people. The priest arrives at Kino and Juana's hut and tells Kino that he needs to give thanks for finding the pearl. The priest, the person who is in charge of the church, the person who is just a mediator between you and your God. So he has informed them, just I am coming to you and I am praying for you. So it's time for you to give thanks to me. That means the priest has an eye on the pearl. So you need to show your gratitude to the person who helped you to see the God. So I only helped you to pray to God and now your prayers are answered. So it's time for you to show your gratitude. That means it's better you give this as a gift to me. Come now to cure Coyotito. I'm sorry. I heard that you came to my place for the treatment in the morning, but I was away from the place, so I couldn't give you the treatment to the boy. Now I am back to your home. Once who was unwilling to give treatment to the boy who reached to his place, now on his own way he came to this poor hut. He administers a powdered capsule and promises to return an hour. Administers means gives. He gave a powdered capsule and promises after 1 hour I will give him treatment. So in the meantime his pain will be relieved. In fact what the doctor has done is to make Coyotito sick so that the doctor can then cure the baby and get paid more. See? He is a cheat. He is a quack. So instead of getting treatment well to the baby, he gave the medicine that will be making the pain even more horrible. So after 1 hour he will come back and he will give the treatment and now he can demand them how much he wants. Because now these people are rich with the pearl. Coyotito indeed does get sick and the doctor returns and gives the baby a different medicine that cures the baby. Now only he gives the real medicine, now the baby is alright. So he wants to show them that he has really given them wonderful drug, that's why they got cured from this scorpion bite. When the doctor asks Kino for payment, Kino says that his plan is to sell the pearl the next day. I'm sorry, I don't have any ready money with me. Tomorrow morning I'm going to sell this pearl. Once it is sold, I get a lot of money, then I will pay back you a fee. The doctor offers to keep the pearl for Kino and Kino refuses the request. But the doctor tricks Kino into revealing where Kino has hidden the pearl. So here the action is moving very fast. So the doctor offers to keep the pearl for Kino. My dear Kino, you're a poor man, you don't know how to keep this pearl with you. So please give it to me, I will keep it secretly or securely at my place. But Kino refuses the request. Kino suspects the wrong from him, so he denied to give this pearl to him. But the doctor tricks Kino into revealing where Kino has it in the pearl. Kino is a poor illiterate person, so he cheats, the doctor cheats and came to know where he is going to hide this pearl this night. So until this, we covered it in the last lecture, that was the second virtual lecture. But now all our video lectures would be converted into media lectures and they would be uploaded over the system. Now I don't have the direct interaction with you, so I'm sorry for this development, but we need to cope up with the system. So I will be available over there on the chat box, sorry, on the messages in the forum. So if you have any inconveniences, if you have any complaints, please write them over there. And also I gave you my phone number and mail ID. You can communicate me anytime for any valid reason. So until then, we have covered and now we need to move to the next step. So doctor asked for the pearl to be kept in the night, but Kino refused. But doctor was so tricky, he got the clue that where Kino was going to hide this pearl in the night. So in the night anything may happen. What's going to happen in the night? Let us move to the next slide. Yes. earthen floor. So he has a pile under the mat on the earthen floor. He doesn't have any beds. He's a poor man, just rolling his mat and sleeping over there. So just under this mat, he has put the pearl. It's earthen floor. It's not a tiled one. It's not a uh, marbled one or something like that. Just they're cleaning the floor, and over there they keep a mat and they sleep. Just under this mat he had kept his pearl. He dreams of quiet. He was reading great books, however, are suddenly interrupted by presence of someone else in the hut. So he was dreaming and dreaming. He was thinking he wants to make his son so educated because he would be sent to the school. So with the money what he's going to get after selling this pearl, he could give wonderful life to his son. He was dreaming for the future of his one and only son Coyotito, but in the meantime he felt somebody in the hut. He was interrupted suddenly in the presence of Kino, in the presence of someone else, and then pulling his knife, Kino strikes out at the figure and hurting him. He suspected a foul play. There might be a thief to steal the pearl. So he was carrying a knife with him. Immediately he had stabbed him. And the person who was there in the darkness got hurt because of the fight with the knife. At the same time, he himself is struck on the head. But the thief didn't keep himself silent. He paid him back. So Kino also got injured in this duel. Jonah lights their only candle and swabs the blood from Kino's side. So they have one and only candle, and she lights it immediately. And when she touched her husband, she found him in the pool of blood. There was so much blood oozing out from his head. Joanna then sensed the evil of the pearl. This is the symbol. So now she has sensed the evil of the pearl. It's not a sign of good thing. It's a sign of bad omen. So she says that this pearl has brought evil to their family. And she pleads. What do you mean by pleads? Request. This pearl is like a sin. It will destroy us. Let us throw it back into the sea. My dear husband, please believe me. Please listen to me. This has brought so much sin to us. So we need to throw it back. Where does it belong to? Let us go back to the sea and throw it into the waters over there. That's what she demanded. Let us throw it back into the sea. Kino, however, is determined that their son will become educated, and he refuses to listen to Joanna's plea. Please, that the pearl will destroy them all, even our son. Look, Kino, however, is determined. And what do you mean by determined? Very much strongly decided that their son will become educated. You, a stupid lady, you are so emotional. You are calling this pearl as a sign of evil. But I am sorry, this pearl will bring us happiness, prosperity, richness, education. By selling this pearl, I will get a lot of money. With that money, I will see my son educated. And he refuses to listen to Joanna's pleas. Plea means earnest request that the pearl will destroy them all, even our son. That's what she is prophesying. She was predicting. It's a sign of evil because the moment it came in, it brought the thief also into our home. That's why we need to go back to the sea and throw it where does it belong to. So it will even eat away our son. That's what the woman was worrying about. What is the name of the woman? Her name is Joanna. What is the name of the husband? Kino. And what is the name of the little boy or the baby boy? Coyotito. So now let us move to the next. Sell the pearl. Now it's time for selling the pearl. The other day was don't go out to die. This is to be a special day in the life of the town. Now we need to celebrate. And they are all curious how much money Kino is going to fetch by selling this pearl. That's why they didn't go into the sea. They were not in search of the pearls in the sea. They were all accompanying Kino. Kino and Joanna dressed themselves in costume in their best clothes and begin the trip to the pearl buyers. Now they are wearing the best clothes what they are available for them. Now they need to go to the brokers, the people who are buying the pearls, followed by all of the rest of the village. Now Kino and Joanna are the hero and the heroines, the most important people in the town. That's why they are followed, or they are all honored by all the people in the village. This is the second procession. When was the first procession? When they brought their son to the doctor. But the doctor was inside but informed that he was not there because he was not happy to treat them because of his racial discrimination or also the social and economic status of this poor couple. Here they have the second of the several processional scenes. Say, please note it down. Here we have the second of several processional scenes. Such gatherings, such movements would be there many in this novella. This is the second one. First time they had been in a procession. Procession means a group of people going together. And they were turned away. And they walked in the same procession to see the doctor and they were turned away. Yesterday, just a day got changed. Yesterday they were poor, but today they are rich. They are rich with the pearl. That's why this procession again they are moving. Today they go in a triumphant mood. Triumphant means victorious, successful, fully aware of the treasure they have that will bring them wealth and respect. Treasure means richness, money. So by selling this pearl, they are going to become so rich. They are very happy the way they are moving towards the pearl buyers because they know the future. They know that they are going to get huge amounts of money by selling this pearl, and their dynamics of the life will be changing. They will be somebody else from tomorrow onwards. But just a day before, they were one of the poorest couples in the world. So where they couldn't get any treatment for their ailing coyotito who was bitten by the scorpion. So this is the second position towards the pearl buyers, and the first position was towards the doctor. And reminds him of the old story of how years ago the world once thought of a way to outwit the pearl buyers by sending one of their own to the large town to sell their collected pearls. Jonah Thomas, Keno's brother. Look at the names. Joanna Thomas. Joanna the name of the wife. Kino is the name of the husband. And his brother's name is Joanna Thomas. Walks beside Kino and reminds him. He's going next to him and reminds him. He knows it, but he is reminding him that the old story of how years ago the old ones thought of a way to outwit the pearl buyers. Old ones means the people who belong to the old generation. So when you are going to sell the pearl, you must be very careful. Third, the way of outwit the pearl buyers by sending one of their own to a large town to sell their collected pearls. The first man failed to return. They sent another with their collected pearls, and he too failed to return. So the people are going after one after another. So they are going with the pearls to sell, but they fail to sell them. And they then abandoned the idea and returned to selling their pearls to the pearl buyers. Abandoned means stopped. So now they have decided not to sell any pearls to these buyers because they used to quote them very less amount of money. Kino, of course, has heard the story already. Just Kino's brother, Joanna Thomas, is reminding him the same story. And the priest, the father, tells it every year. The priest, the father, F is capital, the father of the church, he used to tell him the story again and again. According to the priest, the failure was a punishment on those who tried to leave their station. So he refers to the Bible, he refers to the Holy Book. So it is a punishment given those people who are leaving their station. That means who are going away from their roots. The priest made it clear that God intends the peons to remain in their stations in life. Peons means who are working for the less money, the low income group people, hard working laborers. And if someone tries to rise above their station, it is an invitation for disaster. Disaster means great failure. So the God wants us to remain at our own places. So we need to be contented with the social status. What do we have? So we should not look for any development. So let me give a break here. This is the second procession. So they were planning how not to be cheated by the buyers of the pearl. So Kino's brothers, what is the name of Kino's brother? Joanna Thomas. So he reminded how his parents are the old ones who are cheated by the pearl buyers. And Kino has heard this news or heard this story many times from the priest or the father of the church. Look at the word father, it is with initial capital F. That means it relates to the church, not with the family relation. The pearl buyers, along with the reports on the loveliness of the pearl. So they got to know about the pearl, that they got wonderful pearl in the world. When Kino arrives with the pearl, his neighbors wait just within hearing distance outside the house. They are not allowed to go inside, only the seller can go inside, so they were just standing outside, all the neighbors. The pearl buyer looks casual at the pearl and shows no expression on his face, even though he knows it's one of the wonderful pearls in the world. So if you are excited, you may be getting tempted to pay more. So he's a very professional pearl buyer. So that's why he's not at all showing any expression on his face. Yet his hands hidden behind him are trembling. Trembling means shivering. He got excited on seeing such a wonderful pearl. Then the buyer offers a very small sum. How much? 1,000 pesos. Peso is a currency of Mexico. Even for Philippines also it is the same currency. So it is just a normal pearl. So I can give you 1,000 pesos for the pearl of the world. He maintains that the pearl is too big and no one will buy it. It is too big, so it may not fetch you good money. Kino knows that he is being cheated. Meanwhile, the pearl buyer sends for the other buyers to confirm his offer. Okay, it's up to you whether you can sell it or not. You can inquire about the other buyers here. So I don't think I can give you more than 1,000 pesos. So Kino was so sure he would be getting more than that, and the buyer is trying to trick him. He knows that. Kino knows that he is being cheated. Meanwhile, the pearl buyer sends for the other buyers to confirm the offer. While they are all waiting for the other buyers, the neighbors discuss the offer. They are all outside the shop. They are puzzled because they are all expecting the pearl would be giving more money to Kino and his wife. In contrast, the pearl buyer can't keep his eyes off the pearl. He is still glittering at the wonderful pearl. He is not taking away his attention from the pearl. So he is tricking. It's clear that he wants to cheat Kino. That's why he was offering a very small amount. What is the amount offered by the first pearl buyer? It is just 1,000 pesos. Now let us move to the next slide. He arranged assigned roles. They were all hand in hand in glove. So they were all expecting that Kino would be coming to them. So they had discussed and they devised a plan how to cheat him. The first two dealers reject the pearl as a mere oddity. No, I'm not interested in this. This may not be a pearl, it looks something different. So the first two dealers rejected, and the third dealer makes a feeble offer. Feeble means weak. And this time he offers even less than what has been offered by the first pearl buyer. The first one offered for 1,000 pesos, but this guy has offered only just for 500 pesos. Kino announces that he will go to the capital and sell the pearl. Okay? If you are not able to buy my pearl, if I don't get the money what I am looking for, I will take this to the capital of the country. Quickly, the main pearl buyer raises his offer to 1,500 pesos, but it is too late. Kino leaves. So now they are all worried that Kino may be leaving. So the main dealer, the main buyer offered, okay, I will give you 1,500, but all the time Kino is already outside and he is leaving. He is moving towards the capital of the country. Back in their brush houses, the neighbors discuss the events. So the neighbors are back to their houses. The neighbors of Kino and Joanna. So how they are going to sell this pearl? They are divided in their opinion. Some feel that Kino is being cheated, and some feel that he is going against the system, and some think that he is foolish because 1,500 pesos is more money than he has ever had. So they are divided. Some people come to a conclusion that the buyers are trying to cheat him, and some are saying it's okay, when you are getting 1,500 you should have sold it. Some are saying you are taking this pearl to the city, that is the capital of the country, that means you are going against the system. As long as you got the pearl here, you better sell it off to the local pearl buyers. Kino, however, feels alienated from everything. Alienated means separated. He feels alone. According to Steinberg, who is Steinberg? Jan Steinberg, the writer of the novella, Kino has lost one world and had not gained another. It's a wonderful quotation. Kino has lost one world. That means whom does he belong to all these days? They all separated from him because his social status is going to be changed. You are not one among us. So you may become a rich man from tomorrow onwards once you sell off this pearl. But unfortunately, now he doesn't belong to any new society even. He lost his origin, but he is not connected to any new society or new system. Then, he is sleeping, but his sleep is very much disturbed. He heard some voices outside. He takes his knife and goes to investigate. He is doubtful. So something is again going to happen tonight for me. Because I am with wonderful Pearl. I am holding one of the most expensive pearls in this world. So there might be a foul play. There might be a thief outside to ransack my house. Inside Joanna is the noises of a violent struggle. And she takes a stone and goes to Kino's side, but it is too late. So the mother heard something. There was a severe fight going on. So now she wants to take help. She wants to help her husband. Aid means help. So she took a big boulder and she went inside to save him. But Kino is lying on the ground, bloody with most of his clothes off torn of them. By the time she was able to reach her husband, he was almost all in a pool of blood again, and most of his clothes got torn off. His assailants escaped. Assailants means those who attacked him. And Kino can't identify them. They left the house. Again, Joanna pleads with Kino to destroy the pearl. This is the second request. She requested the same the last night. You remember when the thief came to steal the pearl. But this time, not only for stealing, when they were not able to steal it, they have got Kino wounded badly. That's why she's saying it's a sign of evil. Now she's saying the pearl, it is wicked, it's cruel. So please throw it. You need to destroy the pearl. Please throw the pearl to the place where does it belong to. But Kino still sees the pearl as the only means of ensuring coitus education. I want my son to be educated. I want my son to be one among the most learned persons in the society. So only by selling this pearl, I will make him an educated person. And so he resolves to go to the capital to sell the pearl. That's what he told the buyers over there in that town. So he resolved. Resolved means decided strongly, firmly. So I am going to the city where I am going to sell this pearl. So I am going to the capital of the country where I can sell it and get huge amounts of money with which my son will be educated. Related to the peril of the world, and Giovanna knows this. Because everything is happening to Kino is just because of the pearl. Because for her, a Kino is a sign of evil. It's wicked. So as long as the pearl is with them, anything may happen to her husband. That's why she is much worried. She silently rises from her sleep, goes quietly to the fireplace stone and removes the great pearl. She silently rises from her sleep. She got disturbed her sleep. She goes quietly to the fireplace stone where they keep the fire, where they cook their food, and removes the great pearl. Then she disappears through the doorway. That means she is taking the pearl somewhere. A rage surges in Kino. Rage means violent anger. Surges means develops. On seeing his wife taking the pearl away, he became very much anger. And he catches up with her at the beach just as the moment that her hand is raised to throw the pearl back into the gulf. So when he saw when he saw his wife throwing the pearl into the beach, so she wants to put the pearl to the place where it belongs to. So just at this time he catches hold of her and Kino strikes her. He was beating her hardly. Already there is a major change occurring within Kino. He is becoming more and more like an animal. This is the evil effect. He becomes wicked. So now he has fallen down to the state of hitting or beating his own wife. Even in his treatment of Giovanna, who because of her upbringing accepts such treatment. So it is normal in those societies a husband beating a wife. That's why she is bearing everything with all the pain. She is accepting the way she was treated by her husband. She knows that there is murder in the heart of her husband and she accepts it without understanding it. So already he lost his temper. She knows that the wicked pearl had shown its evil spell on the person. So she is readily accepting the reality, and even though he was beating her hardly, she was bearing with him. A group of men attack him. This is the third one. So while he was going to the beach, another group of people attacked him. As Kino drives his knife into one of his attackers, the men knock the pearl from his grasp. Grasp means in his hold. He was grasping it, he was tightly holding it. So when he was taking out the knife and hitting them, meanwhile, some distance away from the fight, Joanna gets up on her knees and begins to make her way home. So she's a wife, and as long as she's there, her husband would be saved. And she sees the pearl lying in the path. It fell down on the road. So she was holding it again. She picks it up and considers returning to the sea to discard the pearl once and for all. Now again she became violently angry, and now she is going back to the beach where she wants to throw this pearl into the waters. At this moment, Joanna sees two dark figures lying on the road and recognizing one of them as Kino. So she saw somebody lying on the floor, and one of them is Kino. Joanna realized that Kino has killed a man. So Kino had killed one of his attackers. Joanna helps Kino, who moans about losing his pearl. Moans means you are breathing heavily. You are just breathing with all the pain. So he explained everything to his wife that he lost the pearl. Joanna silences him by showing him the pearl and explains that they must free immediately because Kino has committed a horrible crime. To flee means to run away. So what did you do? You murdered somebody. So if you are here around, the police will come catch you. Then that would be a terrible for all of us. So you please accept to run away from this place. Now it's time for us to run away from this place. Kino protests that he acted in self-defense, but Juan argues that his defense won't matter at all to the authorities. And Kino tried to pacify her. I'm not a murderer, I didn't kill anyone. Somebody trying to attack me, just I wanted to protect myself. No, the authorities, the police may not listen to your version of the story because there is a dead body lying in the blood over there. They will come and definitely they will catch you. That's why it's time for us to fly away, to flee, to run away. Kino realizes that Joanna is right and they resolve to flee. Resolve means decided. Yes, now we need to leave this place. If we are here around, the police will come and catch hold of us. So he readily accepted the suggestion given by his wife. Now it's time for them to flee away from this place. And moreover, they need to go to the city to sell the pearl. Cano for his escape. So he came to the place where he has his cano. Cano means his small boat. With the same small boat, he went into the waters and got this pearl. He finds that someone has punctured a large hole in the boat's bottom, but cano can't help him because he found that it got punched. Punctured means it got punctured. There, they made some big hole at the bottom of the cano. When there is a hole in the wooden one, you can't use it as a boat. So all the water will be inside and your boat will be sinking inside. Filled with sorrow and rage, he quickly runs to the house moments before dawn. So he became angry. So what's wrong with me? Who spoiled or damaged my cano? So he became sorrowful and rage. Rage means violent anger. He quickly runs to his house moments before dawn. Dawn means sunrise. Yes, it is going to be sunrise. He reached his place. As he arrives in the vicinity of the neighborhood, he notices flames and realizes that his house is burning. So now he found his house is on fire. So somebody even burned his house. Somebody has got his canoe damaged. As he runs towards the fire, Joanna meets him with Coyotito in his arms. So by the time he reached the place, he found his wife is also running out of the house with Coyotito in his hands. She confirms that their house has been burned down completely. So some bad people might have burnt it. She confirms their house has been burned down completely. As the neighbors rush to control the fire, And to save their own houses, Kino, Joanna, Coitito go to Joanna Thomas' house. Who is Joanna Thomas? Kino's brother. So in the meantime, they went there to get themselves protected. In the darkness inside Joanna Thomas' house, Kino and Joanna listen as the neighbors set him to subdue the fire and speculate that Kino and Joanna had been killed in the blaze. So the people all around, they have thought that these people got burnt alive inside the hut. The couple can only listen as Joanna Thomas' wife Apollonia wails and mourning for the loss of her relatives. Wails means crying. Mourning means for the sorrowfulness. So already Joanna Thomas' wife, what is her name? Apollonia, has decided her relatives have died in the accident. Who are her relatives? Her brothers, her husband's brother and his family. That is Kino, Joanna, and Coetito. When Apollonia returns to her house to change head shawls, Kino whispers to her, explaining that they are taking refuge. So Kino told her that they are inside their home. So please don't reveal to others who are just taking refuge. Kino instructs Apollonia to bring Joanna Thomas to them and keep their whereabouts a secret. Even Kino instructs Apollonia, please don't reveal this to anyone. So let us take shelter here. She complies. That means she readily accepts it. She agreed to do so. And Joanna Thomas arrived moments later, posting Apollonia at the door to keep watch while he talks with Kino. So please keep an eye on the door. So if any stranger is getting inside, please report it to me. This is what Kino has instructed Apollonia. Who is Apollonia? Apollonia is his brother's wife. What is the name of Kino's brother? Joanna Thomas. In the darkness. So it was a duel. Somebody tried to attack me to save my skin. I unfortunately killed him. Joanna Thomas blames this misfortune on the pearl and advises Kino to sell without any delay. Delay means late. So this is all happening just because of this pearl. So you need to sell it as quick as possible. If you keep this pearl with you, it will be causing you more troubles. It's a sign of bad woman. Kino implores Joanna Thomas to hide them in the house for a night. So just he implores means request his brother, just keep us here just for night until they can gather themselves and make a second attempt to flee. So tomorrow morning we will be leaving. So today we can't leave because our canoe got damaged. So just give us shelter for this night. Joanna Thomas agrees to shelter them and keep silent about their plans. Okay, whatever you do, just you do, but don't reveal this to anyone. That afternoon, Kino and Joanna listen to the neighbors discuss them among the ashes outside. The neighbors gathered around their hut and they are looking at the ashes and they were talking about Kino, Joanna, and Coetito. Most of the neighbors assume that Kino and Joanna are dead. Assume means consider, imagine. They were under the impression that these two already died. But Joanna Thomas suggests that perhaps the family had fled to the south to escape the persecution. Persecution means the treatment, interrogation. So because this family might have run away from this place. I don't think they might have been killed in this fire accident. That means he leaves a doubt in the minds of his neighbors. Kino tells Joanna Thomas is planning to travel to the cities of the north. Now they are planning to go to the northern parts of the country. But Joanna Thomas informed his friends that they might have gone to the southern parts of the country. Joanna Thomas advises him to avoid the coast. A search party will be on the lookout for him. Coast means coast of the sea. So police are already searching for him since he's a murderer. So you better not to go to the coastal parts of the country. You better go to the north. But he gave a hint to his neighbors. They might have gone to the south. And looked for means searching. When Joanna Thomas asks if Kino still has the pearl, Kino responds that it doesn't and that he intends to hold on it. So the brother asked him, my dear brother, still do you have the pearl with you? Kino responds that he does. Yes, I am having, that he intends to hold on to it. Intents means planning. Even though it is a sign of bad thing, even though it is considered as a symbol of evil, wicked, I don't like to leave it. I am holding the pearl with me. But Joanna is so sure as long as the pearl is with them, all the drawbacks would be there with them only. march north. So the three, the family, Kino, Joanna, and the little boy Coyotito are moving. They walk all night and make camp on roadside shelter at sunrise. All the night they are walking, make camp in a roadside shelter at sunrise. When there is a sunrise, they will be stopping somewhere and taking rest in the daytime. But all the nights they keep walking. Joanna begins to doubt Kino's conviction that the pearl is worth more than the dealers offered. But Kino points out that his attackers would not have tried to steal the pearl where it was were worth nothing. So Joanna has a doubts about the value of this pearl. So he was offered 500 pesos, then 1000 pesos, then 1500 pesos. So I don't think it would be worth more than this. If she was under the impression it is useless to go to the capital to sell it off. But Kino is a wise man. So if it doesn't worth that much, why I am frequently attacked by the thieves? The thieves keep on coming to us just because it costs a lot. Kino stares at the pearl to read his future. Staring means looking fixedly. He lies to Joanna, telling her that he sees a rifle, a marriage in a church, and an education for Coyotito. Just he is looking at the pearl and he is dreaming. What is he dreaming? A rifle. A rifle means a gun. With this pearl, after selling it, I can buy a pearl. Sorry, a rifle. A marriage in the church. He wants to get married to his wife. Maybe they are just in a living relation. So officially he wants to make it as a marriage just before the priest in the church, and an education for Coyotito. With this big amount or huge amounts of the money, I am going to make my son educated. In truth, Kiso sees the body bleeding on the ground. Joanna making her way home through the night after being beaten, and Coyotito's face swollen as though he were sick. Look, the tragic episode of the novella. Kino sees a body bleeding on the ground. He found somebody in a blood. Bleeding means oozing out blood. Jonah making her way home through the night after being beaten. So the last night she was badly beaten. Now she is planning to go back to home. And Coyote's face was so swollen as though he was sick. Swollen means it bulged out. Coyote, the little boy, the baby boy of this couple, Kino and Zuana, his face has gotten swollen as if he is really very sick. Why are they all happening? Wakes from a dream and demands that they keep quiet. So when the mother and the son are playing, the play of these two got to disturb the father. So then he demanded them to be quiet. Why are you disturbing me? I am having a wonderful dream. Creeping forward, he spots three trackers following their trail. Trail means footsteps. When he checked it, he found three people are just following their footsteps. Who are these three? Kino Adams to be still and silent until the trackers have passed. So he acted as if he is not active. So he just imitated as if he is a stone. He watches them grow nearer and prepared to spring on them with his knife if necessary. Still he is holding a knife with him. So if at all they come to him, he is planning to spring on them. To spring means to jump over them. And Joanna also he is approaching trackers and does her best to quiet Coyotito. Quiet means to calm. So if they hear, because it was in the night, if they make any sound, they may come and attack. That's why she is holding the breathing and the sound from the mouth of the little boy. The tracker's horse grows excited and trackers approach the shelter. When they reach the shelter, their horse grows excited. It looks excited. That means it got emotionally connected. The trackers then move on. Kino realizes that is the only matter of the time before they return, and he runs quickly to Joanna, telling her to gather up her things so that they can leave at once. So these people are tracking us. These people are just moving around to kill us. Before they come back, we need to run away from this place. He says that they might be able to lose the trackers up in the mountains. So when we are climbing, we said they might be able to lose the trackers, but we need to change our way. Now we need to climb over the mountains. If we take a new direction, definitely they will not be able to track us. That's why now they have decided to climb the mountains. Bushes and making no effort to conceal their tracks. To conceal means to hide. So they are making their tracking zigzag. They don't leave any footsteps to the people to follow them. As they climb the first rises, Kino realizes that distance is putting between his family and his trackers offers only a temporary fix to their problem. Now he has realized. So that we can just make a distance from the trackers. When Joanna takes a rest with Coyotito, Kino proposes that she hide while he moves on ahead. So you people better stay here and you take rest. Let me go and attack them. And until the trackers have been diverted, she can take refuge in a nearby town. So we need to divert them. So you need to take refuge. That means you need to take shelter in the nearby town. But despite Kino's insistence means stress. Joanna refuses to split up, so the family moves on together. No, I don't like to leave my husband. So we are the family in Keith and Kane in sun and shower, whatever it is, we need to keep on moving together. That's why she denied the request or the suggestion made by her husband. Now the family is climbing the mountains and moving, not to leave any tracks to the trackers behind. As the sun begins to set, again it's time for the dusk. Kino and Joanna reach a nearby cleft as a pool and a stream. Cleft means the roof of the cleft means the top of the hill. And the pool and the stream. And beside the hill, there is a pool of water and there is a stream. Where they drink, they had plenty of water in their stomachs. From the lookout, Kino spies the trackers at a distance below. From this point, because he's on the elevated area, because it is a cleft. It is on the top of the mountain. He looked down and see the trackers are still following them, hurrying up the slope. And Joanna also realizes that they are still being followed. That means they thought that they will be missing and they thought that they will be leaving no footsteps behind. Even though they crossed the mountains, going up and down, the trackers are also following them. So what's happening? By the a camp and eat. In the cave, Coyotito grows restless and Joanna quiets him. So they are taking rest in the cave and at the back, near the pool, the trackers are following them. And Coyotito is growing restless. That means he is making sounds. But the mother knows how to make him calm. So she makes him quiet. Kino notices that the two of the men have settled into sleep, while the third keeps watch. There are three people and two of them are taking rest, and the third person is vigilant. Kino realizes that if he can manage a stifle the lookout, he, Joanna, Coyotito will have a chance to escape. So if they get a chance, they can leave. They can escape from these people. Joanna fears for the Kino's life, but Kino explains that they have no other choice. I need to go and kill him. If I am able to kill one of them who is vigilant, the remaining two are sleeping, so then we can kill him and save ourselves. We can escape from this place. As Joanna prays for him, she was praying to God. Kino slowly moves down the slope towards the pool. Why is he moving over there? He wants to kill one of the three trackers. He prepares to attack. Just as he is poised to spring, the moon appears and he realizes that his opportunity has been lost. Suddenly, it became dark. So when he was about to spring on the one of the trackers, he is poised to spring. To spring means jump. Then the moon appears. So it became dark. So Kino lost a chance to kill him. Suddenly, Coyotito lets out a cry that wakes one of the sleeping trackers. So they are in the nearby cave. So the little boy doesn't know the danger. So he started crying. So the trackers who is sleeping, one of them got awakened. The watchman shoots in the direction of the cry, and the bullet kills Coyotito. So the watchman shoots in the direction where he got the cry of this little boy. So when the bullet went inside, the little boy died. He had his last cry. Kino springs upon the tracker, stabbing the watchman and seizing the rifle to kill the other two. So now Kino has become the man of action. So he seized. Seized means to take something by force. And he started killing the other two people. Then he hears his wife cry, mourning the death of Coyotito. But unfortunately, the mother lost her one and only son. So she started wailing, crying for mourning, feeling sorry for the death of the little